That's it. We're live now. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTube. Hello, AgeCase.
Yo, good evening. How's it going, everyone?
Hello, Anona Q. Hello, Mrs. J. Hello, Leah. D-Wit. Andy. All right, mate. Under Blood Red Sky. Yes, man. We got all the legends in the house this evening. Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight, Age?
Cannabis. Oh, yeah, obviously, innit? The weed.
The
You got the
weed.
list. Where's that little list? We'll go through a list, innit? Of the different things. I think it was the history of cannabis first.
Yeah, I can't share it. You have to share it. But
Oh, is it?
yeah, I'm using the phones, innit?
Oh, okay.
StreamYard won't allow me. I've tried every button, it doesn't work. Yeah, so we're talking about cannabis, ganja, marijuana. What else can you call it? The sensi.
Reefer madness.
The reefer
The reefer.
madness.
The bang. Bong. You can get fucking what are they called? Dabs. Pipes. All kinds of ways. So I got the list shared.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah, I bought a pipe earlier on this week, but I need dry out weed because the wetter it is, the less likely it's to stay light.
Yeah, it's nicer when it's drier anyway, I think. Nicer stuff. So yeah, I got another page I'll share with you quick. Go through. Where is it? Here it is.
Oh yeah. Let's say hello to a few more in the chat. Hello, no comment. Hello, Jake Away. Hello, Cheeky Sprite.
Big
Yeah.
yourselves up. Put a like in the
Big everyone
chat.
up.
Put a
Look,
one in the chat.
under saying shalom, everyone. Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh yeah, what's this? Here we go. A brief timeline of cannabis and cannabinoid research. Can't read the rest. I can't see it.
2800 BC, that's when the earliest discoveries of it being used like as medicine. Sheng Nong, the Emperor Sheng Nong of China. It probably wasn't called China then, but he was one of the first to use it. And then around about when Jesus was born, they reckon that Shiva was given the title the Lord of Bang because the cannabis was his favorite food. Okay. So yeah, it's been around 5,000 years.
Yeah, I heard as well. I did a bit of research, and the Chinese at the time, don't know what they were called, but the Chinese had they started using hemp for rope, for clothing, for shoe, for a lot of things. And then when you said it turned into medicine, once every other country around them, like once the empire expanded, across the land into Eastern Europe and Europe and the Middle East, the Middle East started using it as a smoking thing, and
Yeah.
other parts of the land used it as medicine.
Yeah, they used it for like 4,000, 5,000 years. And then I think the British went in and flooded the market with opium, and everyone got hooked on opium.
Yeah. Well,
That's
that
probably
was
where that was like the 1800s, early 1900s. Yeah.
yeah, those years. Cannabis was then changed to marijuana in like the 1930s. They stopped using
Yeah.
the word cannabis and started using marijuana because
Reefer madness.
yeah, because the Spanish immigrants at the time, or the Mexicans, um, they were using the word marijuana, so they changed it to marijuana instead of cannabis. And
Yeah.
like during the 30s, one guy went out and brainwashed society, saying cannabis is bad, cannabis is bad. Um,
1936
exactly
and
1936.
1937.
Yes.
And they made
So
up
that's
loads of lies about it. Like you would go and rape people and use harder drugs. There was loads of little things that they said it would. Yeah. You'll beat your wife. I remember watching it. Some of the things that they. So where else was it? So after the 30s, yeah, what? 40s.
yeah. The guy on the picture at the top, he put a few laws into place with regards to cannabis, marijuana, um, like laws and stuff like that. What's his name? Did it say his name?
Who?
Um,
Sorry?
the guy in the black and white picture,
Yeah.
him. Was
He's
does it
probably
say his
just an
name?
actor.
No, he
He
was
was.
the politician that
Was he?
written a few laws. Yeah, yeah. Um,
Let's have
in
a
ways
look.
like cannabis. He taxed it so high, and there was no mention of it on the news. There was only one person that tried fighting in its defense, saying that marijuana didn't cause any like serious effects, no scientific proof, anything like that. But only one man, but yeah, it changed forever.
Here you go. It will lead you to hit and run incident, manslaughter, murder, conspiracy to murder, and rape. That's what they said.
Look how small that page is. What is this about cannabis?
This is about Reefer Madness, the film
Oh, right.
that you're on about.
That's it. The film. Yes. Wow. That changed everybody's minds. And back then, there weren't much around people, so anything like this to watch on TV.
Oh, it's an hour. No, it's a minute. Is it a minute? It's an hour long. Fucking hell. Wow. Oh.
Yeah, so they criminalized it around the 1940s and 50s.
Oh, in 1937 they criminalized it, and then
Oh,
it
right.
was made legal in, well, kind of legal in 1996. So
Yeah.
that's like 60 years, 63 years.
Who was the first country? It was
America,
Holland,
California, or Holland, actually. Yeah, probably.
in 19 only recent in the last 50 years. Um, they made it legal. Yeah, they had a lot of backlash. Have you got a timeline for that, or is this just a US thing?
For who legalized it first?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Probably Malta. Oh, that was the first EU nation. So, like, going into cannabis law now. That's weird. Yeah, look, 1378 in Arabia was one of the first places you allowed to, oh no, if not the earliest, arrested for cannabis. There you are. 1378. Nowadays, you get the death penalty if you're caught with like more than an ounce in Saudi Arabia.
What is that now?
Yeah, that's now, but they were the earliest country to legalize it. So then, let's see, who were the first to legalize it? Was probably, fuck knows.
Holland, isn't it? Holland, man. Oh, look what DeWitt has said. Holland have only decriminalized, not legalized.
Ah. Yeah.
Let's go back to the table for a second. So right now we're talking about the history of cannabis. That's number one. Number two is the legality of cannabis. Number three are strains and brands. Number four is medicinal and health products. And then
There you
number
go. Share
five,
now.
and then number
Culture and
five,
economy.
that's it, culture and economy.
So obviously they were like using it 5,000 years ago, but when do you reckon they started smoking it, like, and realized you could get high off it and have a good time?
That's
That
it.
must have been
When
like around Jesus's time or around.
yeah, it was around that area as well, where they started smoking it with their shisha pipes. Uh,
Yeah.
they were calling it hashish, cannabis. They were calling it hashish, and they were smoking it in their shisha pipes. That's how it started. The uh, the smoking part of cannabis. It left China, the Chinese culture, and it went into like the Middle Eastern at that whatever it was at that time, like that part of the world, you know. And they started smoking it over there.
And then obviously in like, I don't know, 60s, 70s, they discovered that they could manufacture it in large quantities. They could mess about with the chemical compounds, you know, add more CBD, take away more THC, stuff like that. what would you call it? Genetically modifying it. That must have been in the 60s, 70s. I don't know. Maybe earlier. So do you reckon with all of these, you got like all the electric bills going up and stuff like that, do you think a lot of weed producers will go out of business with the price of electricity? Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't think
Get
of that.
stocking up. Because a lot of places like care homes will go out of business. And shit like that. Possibly. Who knows? But that's another subject, isn't it? But then again, it's kind of this subject because it could affect.
I think that should be next week.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of growers in the UK. We definitely grow it locally. Like most of the weed you buy and most of the weed I buy will be within like 20 miles. Grown within 20 miles of where, you know what I mean? I reckon. Unless you get like the Cali packs. You'll get the occasional dealer that has the Cali packs. And they're really expensive to get them imported from Cali and all that.
Oh my. I didn't know that. Okay.
Leah says, isn't the UK one of the highest producers for medical marijuana? Yeah, I think they are. They sell a lot of it to Holland and Canada.
How many acres? 200 and something acres of land of medical cannabis. And who owns it or runs it?
He's a big major shareholder.
She was
Theresa
Prime Minister.
May.
Her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Philip
You're
May.
saying it's illegal. No. The country's saying it's illegal, yet we produce the highest cannabis harvest.
Do you know what's another fact is like Holland they've decriminalized it and everything, but their prisons have the highest amount of cannabis users from other countries around the EU. It's crazy. So they've legalized it, or not legalized it, they've decriminalized it, but then they're putting people in prison from other countries that have been like outsourcing their prisons. So it's illegal here, and we're selling the most, and it's kind of legal there, but they're imprisoning the most. It's fucking mad, isn't it?
Mad how we live in mad days, man. Mad times we're living in. Mad times.
You can brew THC from yeast. Yeah, I've heard of that. D-Wit said.
What's that?
D-Wit said you don't even need to grow plants now. They can just brew THC from yeast.
Oh, yeah? Is there videos on YouTube?
Probably, yeah. And Dave Hurd chiming in. I think would you say like most cannabis is like genetically modified now? I mean, I doubt it. I bet it's very rare that you've got like an original plant that is a descendant of like an original from the 70s or 80s or whatever.
Well, they don't call it weed anymore. They call it skunk now.
Skunk, bruv. Yeah. I ain't heard that word in a while.
It's just fueled with chemicals, to make it as strong, as potent.
But then the Romans were genetically modifying like corn and starch and maize and all that. So they were doing that 2,000 years ago. So it's possible they could have been doing it with cannabis. You know what I mean? Finding different uses for it, and then they would process them in different ways. Like you can't smoke hemp it fucking, you just end up, it's like tobacco in it. There's no point smoking hemp.
Yeah, hemp is
But
not.
it's really good
Hemp
for
is good
clothes
high.
and paper and loads of shit. 5,000 uses. That was it. 50,000 uses or something. I'm gonna have to find this folder. I've got loads of pictures.
Yeah, if you smoke hemp, you won't get high. So yeah, it's like tobacco. Yeah. Oh, Ian, someone else mentioned that as well, to mention it to my boss. If she's watching, hello, Catwoman. Yeah, she mentioned it as well. Where you gone?
Me. Yeah, me.
Oh, you just finding some pictures?
Yeah, I don't know where it'd be though.
So,
It could be anywhere.
okay. So while you're looking, let's ask the chat. What kind of strains are there of cannabis?
And what's your favorite strain? And what you're smoking now?
Now
I
let's
mean,
start
I've
off
got.
with the strains, so we don't get mixed up.
I've got some wedding cake at the minute.
Oh yeah, wedding cake.
Good old wedding cake.
I've got some Star Dog.
Wedding
Mrs. J.
cake. It's what wedding cake's meant to be about 20% THC. Star Dog is meant to be around about 19%.
Oh yes, so I can't complain.
Mostly produced in Holland, Star Dog. And wedding
So
cake mostly in the USA, but this wedding cake's grown around here. I know that.
well, does nobody know different strains of cannabis, marijuana, like
Yeah, I can never say this. Sunset sherbet. That's a good one.
Mrs. J says Indian wild stuff equals weed. Skunk equals manufactured.
That's true.
Agent X, Catwoman. Hello, ladies. Hello, Mickey Mouse as well. Yeah, so different strains. So we mentioned too, you said wedding cake. I mentioned Star Dog. There's a cheese. There's ammo, amnesia, haze,
AK-47,
AK-47,
Blue Dream, bubble
the Blue
gum,
Dream, the bubble gum, fucking wow.
cookies,
Mate, the cookie dough,
cheese,
yeah.
gelato 33, gelato
Gelato.
41. There's fucking
What is it? The Gorilla Green,
Gorilla
um,
Glue.
Gorilla Glue. Um,
Then you got all the hazes, haven't you? You got like the lemon haze, the orange haze, the Liberty haze.
I heard age. There's two types of cannabis. One you should smoke during the day, and one you should smoke during the night.
Yeah. Sativa and indica, yeah.
Indica and sativa. That's it. Yeah. Which one should you
Oh, and you
smoke?
have hybrids as well. You have hybrids as well.
Hybrids. What are hybrids?
They're like crosses between different species. So like sunset sherbet or mango kush.
Right. Okay. How do you do that? You put two plants together and then
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
Right.
So like the sativas, they're the ones that I think they like make you like your mind high, and they sort of they get rid of anxiety. They make me feel like really sort of creative, and I want to go out and do something. Like I could smoke a joint and then go to the gym, if you know what I mean. Whereas the indicas, they're the sort of ones I'd smoke in the evening and just like want to lie on my bed and munch food. I think
Right.
that's right. I think DeWitt knows little bit more about that. But yeah. So like sativas in the day,
When
indicas
you
in the
say
evening, maybe.
when you say brands, what do you mean by that?
Brands, oh, there's loads of thousands of little brands. Like let me grab a few. Like the Gorilla Glue. There's fucking fuck, can't find them. London Pound Cake, that's like a brand, isn't it? Is it a brand? No. Wonder Bread, that's a brand. There's what are they called? The Big Smoke Crew. You got the Deep East. They're like these are all like producers, and they've got their own like brand. Sherb Money, that's another one. So they'll produce like loads of different types of like weeds and.
So what are they grown in the UK?
I'd say most, probably not. No, because it's illegal. So you wouldn't be able to make a brand over here. They'll all be in America. All these
Sure.
branded companies. There might be a few out there.
I was thinking if you said yes, but I remembered. Yeah, you're right. It is illegal here. So that equals jobs, for people, which is good. Helps the economy. The cannabis helps the economy, by creating some jobs.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you how much money like the legal side of cannabis produces for the economy. Like grinders and Rizzler papers and all that. It's probably a few billion though.
Hello.
And then the illegal side is probably hello.
Hello. Yeah, it's me.
Hello,
It's
DeWitt.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
So, things.
Yeah, man.
This is a good screen to share. I'll share this quick with you. There you go. Sativa, indica, and hybrid.
You've jumped on DeWitt. You must have something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, they just come from different parts of the world. It's not set in stone these days. But most of the Sativas and that, I think, come from over America way, and Asia. Whereas the
Yeah.
indicas, I think, come from India, Pakistan, that way, Afghanistan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It does say that. Yeah.
And so you got seed collectors in America, took them to Amsterdam. And ever since, people looking for different strains.
And it just became a culture, didn't it, really?
Yeah. Selective breeding. So in the UK, they're selected differently. So ours ain't as smelly and tasty. And I think that's just because they don't want to get caught. You've got to be a bit more. Some people still, select for different things, but legality changed it.
Yeah.
We bred a lot of the CBD out of it as well. A lot high THC.
That's why indica has more CBD but less THC, and the sativa has more THC but less CBD.
Yeah. But again, we get hung up on the THC and CBD, but it's a lot of the thing is a whole all-round thing with the cannabis plant. So it's the terpenes and that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. If it was legal, I think we'd have a total different breeds of plants. You know what I mean? I think we'd have selected differently.
And maybe
yeah,
maybe they concentrate on like bringing out the terpenoids in, which gives it the sort of the smell, isn't it?
yeah,
The terpenoids.
yeah.
So you could like make that amazing, but then when you smoke it, you don't get stoned off it. It's just like conning you, sort of thing.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
less THC.
a lot of dealers do that, I think.
I think a lot of dealers as well will shake the weed before they sell it on.
Yeah.
So shake most of the THC, I think. Keep that for themselves. Put it towards.
Yeah. Cheeky.
So back in the days, I reckon some people used to spray the sugar thing back onto it, didn't they?
Yeah. Like sprayed.
Yeah.
People used to say it's sprayed. And I used to think, but how? I don't get how you could just spray weed onto it. Or...
Yeah, well, it is like a synthetic thing they were spraying onto it. That was what there was a later say. That was all them things that got me interested in growing in the first place.
I remember people used to say like, "Oh, it's been sandblasted," like to put the weight up or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that was
they
another
did
thing.
that?
People, they reckon they did. So I've never seen any. I've never bought any or seen any evidence of it, but you always used to hear about things like that.
Yeah.
I used to say that the stuff that comes off it, but the THC for us. I used to get that and rub it on the teeth, and it'd be like a glassy effect. That's what you get with an illegal market, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get a whole new. So I think a report came out the other week. There's one thing they have found with legalisation around the world. The places where they have legalised, the harm from spice and all them synthetic cannabinoids, the harm's gone down. So given the choice, people will have the normal weed.
Yeah, I bet they do. Locally there.
Hello.
He's still there.
Oh, I got the chicken and chips in front of me.
That can be.
So apparently it's good for multiple sclerosis. And other neurodegenerative disorders. But I've heard it can trigger certain things that are already in people, like I forget what it's called. It's like not a mental illness. it's a disorder, neurological disorder. That's it, and it can like trigger in people like Tourette's, and there's other little things that it can trigger in people. That's like maybe the downside of it. But I don't think anyone's died from it yet, have they? Still,
A few people have died. Yes, a few people
what,
die every year.
directly from it,
Yeah,
or
a few people
is
die
that
every year from it. Yeah,
really?
yeah.
What was that?
A few
Oh,
accidents
shit.
have
Has
happened.
anyone died from it?
Oh, and what?
No, I don't think. I think that the only death that's ever been recorded is a custom officer that was crushed by a bailey.
No. There has been a few.
Sorry, I
like
don't mean to laugh, but
over 70 deaths or something like that reported last year or something like that in the world. 70.
Shit.
I'd like to know what the. So I know there is a small thing with heart. You know, if you've got a dodgy heart rhythm, I know some can be bad for that.
You can die from smoking too much. Burst your lungs of smoke.
Yeah, but you don't have to smoke cannabis, do you? You can eat it, vape it.
No, yeah. But
as I said, smoking's it's the least efficient. He was on about MS then. The first. Sorry.
Me, yeah, I was going on about it. I think earlier.
Yeah, the MS. There's some campaigners in the early 90s. THC for MS. Leslie, Mark Gibson, and they used to make and send out chocolate to MS patients.
MS,
they got prosecuted. And,
yeah, I
remember. I think they even stood in local elections as well. But
wow. And then
she had MS and she was doing it. You know, she'd started for herself.
Yeah. There was an MP from Wales. He was trying to change the law on cannabis. And he died kind of halfway through. The reading went through. I can't remember his name though. Paul Flynn, that was it.
Oh yeah, I know.
Newport.
Yeah, he campaigned for legalization for ages.
Yeah.
I think cannabis can play a role in depression.
Yeah.
And not just playing a lot of.
Yeah, but that can be strain dependent. If you can smoke less THC and more CBD, it's the opposite effect. For some people are always going to have a predisposition to it, and that's not you can't blame. That's just bad luck. but for the majority of people, it's a way to relax, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, after a hard day's work or something, you go home. Instead of pouring yourself a glass of wine or 2 glasses or 3 glasses or 4 glasses, and then take out a beer from the fridge, and then take out another beer from the fridge, and then more glasses of wine and beer at the same time, rather just go home, roll yourself a zoo, smoke one out, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Hello to Recording Reality. Hello to Bagman as well. Ian, I'm reading your comments. He has never met a violent toker, but he's met violent drinkers. How is that possible? We've got cannabis that's illegal, but we've got alcohol that does so much, you know? It gets you into a position where you want to smoke cannabis. Like children, you know, alcohol isn't enough. You want to start smoking cannabis.
So I think you got to regulate, haven't you? The only way you can help anyone and is harm reduction, and for that you need regulation. Give people the choice, so you can have 23 THC, no CBD, or you can have a 10 THC with 5 CBD. You know, it's totally different smokes.
What, THC to CBD?
Yeah.
Oh, right. What about TLC?
TLC. No scrubs. Yeah, but there's that many different, like THC and CBD are just two. I think there's 13 or 14 different chemicals that they're still learning about. CBN, which is like THC that's degraded. It's a bit stronger than THC for pain and sleep. So if you've got weed and keep it stored properly for a few months, it'd be better for pain and for sleep. But there's loads there they're still researching.
I don't know about it probably depends what type of strain of cannabis you smoke for it to work on the sleep side, you know, because sometimes you fall asleep and you're really high and you fall asleep and it's not good. You might end up.
Yeah, but look, they have found if you have they've measured someone with CBD for CBD and done it with THC, but they've found a mixture of all three of them is more efficient for THC. You get a better hit from the THC with all three of them than just THC, or you know. So if you get a mixture of all of them, it's better. And again, you can only do that really with regulation, because you ain't going to know what you're getting off, you know, around the corner. And like the legal stuff that I get, it's not as tasty because it's irradiated.
Right.
It's gone through a process to make it medical. So
yeah.
It's still nice, still gets you high. I don't think it's as tasty as it should be.
What is the process? Do you know?
What the growing process? It's mental. It's grown all around the world and shipped around the world to be. Like I think that over here we've got we grow mostly CBD, and we send that around the world. And then we import a lot from Germany, Jamaica, Israel, Holland, Canada. But they've just made it harder to import it, so they've got to jump through more hoops. So some of the ones we was getting on prescription, we can no longer get. So I think the last one I bought was grown in Holland, packaged in Portugal, I think, and then shipped to England.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So, in America, has it been legalized in America?
In some states.
Okay, so it's been legalized. Okay, now imagine this place was to be legalized tomorrow. How would it affect the economy?
You'd have a whole new business jump up. You'd have more grow shops that appear because it'd be legal. you'd be able to grow plants. You'd be able to, in theory, go to B&Q and buy plants.
You
People,
think so?
all them
Yeah.
businesses would be paying taxes, then the growers would be growing. Again, charge them licenses to grow.
Wow, I
You
didn't
just
think of it like
just
that.
creates an economy, but you also take away from the economy as well in other ways, because you'll have like a lot of crime going through the courts are drug related.
Yeah.
So we'll have less going through the courts, we'll have less legal bills, and probably less going into prison. So
Right.
less that way.
And they probably don't want that. That's probably one
Yeah,
of the
that's
main
what I mean.
reasons why it's illegal.
Yeah. You know, they make a lot of money, don't they? All them solicitors and that, putting people
Yeah.
through the system.
And then you got the other people that like Philip May, who's making money selling it to Canada and Holland.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
that's
bet,
two
I
ways
bet
they're making
everyone in
money.
government's shareholders, and some of the oil
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
Directorships and shares, and it's all bollocks, ain't it?
Yeah.
Local, if you fall down the hole, you sound really distant from the phone.
Oh no, I'm here, man.
Do you think it's because England's or the UK is so small and contained that they can keep a monopoly and control on it, whereas the USA it's just so big that they just couldn't contain it anymore and they had to legalize it? Would you say that's
Could be, yeah. I remember like there's a conspiracy 30 years ago about our drug laws are run to keep the grade on the street, if you know what I mean. So what they take and raid is put back out on the street, and they know what's out.
yeah.
So when they say it was at control, how's it titled? Our drug law now.
Controlled substance?
Typical. Yeah, that's but it's like a control thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So wouldn't surprise me. I can't. You know, if you like confiscated loads of drugs,
Yeah.
would you burn it or would you put it back onto the market and get money for it? That's why I can't see any country burning the drugs. I think they just recycle it.
Yeah, maybe.
Greedy bastards. And then you see them burning stuff. That's could be anything.
But the police stations, they burn it. That's why when
They tell you they're burning.
Yeah, they do. They got a little furnace there, innit? And they just stick it all in.
No, it's supposed to go off to a place to be burnt.
Oh yeah.
That's what they say.
Oh.
There's probably a few bent coppers around as well.
Yeah.
Making sure it don't go. I reckon it's probably hard to be a bent copper now, though, unless you're right at the top.
Yeah, I bet they're scared if they are bent. I bet they're just scared of constantly being filmed because it's everywhere now.
Yeah,
they wouldn't know.
Mickey Mouse. What Mickey Mouse has said. Robbing for food can be a side effect as well. What? Because of cannabis.
So side effect of cannabis. That's poverty. It's robbing for food, not cannabis.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if if you can't control your addiction, then you know that's it. It becomes an addiction. Then, really, well, how do I explain it? If you can't, if you can afford to buy cannabis, but you can't afford to buy other things like food and bills and all that, then you shouldn't really be smoking it in a way.
Yeah. And that becomes a health issue then, rather than a criminal issue, isn't it? Should never be criminalised.
Yeah. Like junkies, they don't give a shit about food, man. All they care about is the next hit.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And they've all got to chase that next, get money for the next stuff, isn't they, as well? You know, it's
Yeah.
constant.
Do you know what I thought was weird how right at the start of the pandemic, all the coke, crack, and like pills and all that, all the dealers for that, they were all sort of arrested and rounded up. But all the cannabis dealers, it kind of grew under COVID.
Yeah.
Did anyone else notice that? So many dealers sprouted up. I mean, because obviously a lot of people had to stay at home and they lost their jobs, and
Yeah,
they probably thought, "Oh, I'm going to
the
sell
little
some."
cottage industries.
Yeah,
There was a
popped
few
up.
droughts around here.
Was it?
Yeah, at the lockdown period, you know, a few of the guys had nothing for months.
I remember before COVID, I had one, maybe two dealers, and it was really hard to get it off them sometimes. And then after COVID, now I probably know 5 or 6 people I could ring, like, and they'll all
I was
have
offered cheaper stuff than it normally
Yeah.
is. Again, I think that's because there was more people
Yeah,
about, so it's. But now, because I got that legal prescription, now I can be a bit more choosy what I
Yeah.
get. So if it's some cheese or something nice, I'll go on then.
yeah. I haven't had cheese for a while.
Nah. Again, I think it's quite a dodgy one to grow if you're over here because it smells all the way through.
Yeah, you can smell it as
Uh,
soon as you get to the front door of someone's house. Like,
yeah. And then especially if you're smoking it around by where you grow it as well.
yeah.
You say if you're a home grower. Constantly cooking curries.
Oh yeah. So what about the culture? Would it change the culture? The British culture? Would,
That culture's already there, I reckon.
but
I mean,
would,
there's probably only, 10, 20% of us that smoke it. 10%, maybe.
Is it?
Maybe, I don't know, actually.
no,
Let's have a
but
look.
wouldn't it change like the majority of in this country are Christians, you know? So would it change people to convert from Christianity to atheism just to smoke weed?
I'm not sure. I don't. It's a $1 million question, though, isn't it?
I don't know if I don't think Christianity's banned smoking weed, is it?
They're generally more morally right, aren't they?
I'd say
ban.
Islam would have banned it because you're not allowed to smoke tobacco, are you? Or
No.
that's why it was illegal in Saudi Arabia first, because
some countries smoke.
That's where Islam came from.
Some Muslim countries smoke it, you know. That's where it come from.
Morocco, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's different sects of Islam in it, so and the one in Saudi Arabia is like strict on that shit.
Religion,
but I think that's the same with the Christians. I think some are more to the right and some more to the left.
Yeah, maybe
all religions.
Catholics are against it, maybe more than Protestants or.
Well, the Catholic and Protestants were split off, innit?
Yeah.
The Protestants didn't believe in having someone in between them and God, weren't it? And the Catholics don't mind having the Pope.
Apparently, 29% of people in the UK have used cannabis at least once in their life. So 29%. I don't know how many use it on a daily basis though. 1.2 million a week, like per day. 1.2 million. That's like, I don't know, maybe 2-3% of the country. It's not that much.
No, it could get a bit bigger. It would bring it
Oh yeah, I definitely would. anything like it's with anything the government allows to grow, it will grow.
Yeah,
But if it doesn't want it to grow, then it won't grow.
yeah.
I think they can easily manipulate markets. Well, not even the government, like big companies like BlackRock and all that. They
Yeah.
can just sway something.
Well, the way they can grow now, they can just grow perpetually, can't they? Just constantly. So they're always harvesting.
Yeah.
Just move from a factory. And some of them farms are massive in America. They're huge.
So if it is legalized in England, say like a 20s, what's that? Like a 20 bag, they'd put it up to 25 for tax, wouldn't they? Or even 30. Do you think that would happen?
In theory, that's how it would work.
Yeah.
But I think in reality, more people start growing it, and it pushes the price down because supply and demand.
Yeah, I suppose. But at first, everyone will want to go to a shop, innit?
Yeah. Oh, you'll still have like it'll be dearer to go to a shop. You know, and then again that'll be the tourists and the coffee culture, so it'll be dearer for there. But most people will take their own. Like in Holland, you pay for your drink and take your own smoke. Really.
So that's a good point. Ian Southern just made cannabis is that only green agenda I agree with. Do you reckon like growing cannabis would be it's quite intensive, isn't it, and uses a lot of energy? Do you think?
It can be, but you can do it aeroponics, hydroponic. You do it with the fish, aquaponics.
Yeah, that's a good way as well, isn't it?
So
maybe like they'd ban like mass producing it in big factories and.
Yeah, they could do. I think it'll just go the same way because basically it's the same as growing tomatoes. So how they grow tomatoes industrially is basically it's just a copy of the same system.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I've seen something the other day, you know, on about growing under solar panels in fields, and they're finding that the crop underneath the solar panels, they're getting, I think it's 3 times as much, and they're obviously, well, I think it's half, but it's giving them protection, and they seem to be growing stronger, and then they're obviously harvesting the energy from the solar above it to take that away, so it's paying towards the crops. But it seems to give the plants that they're growing. I don't know if it would work the same for cannabis, but I can't see why not. It seems to give them a bit of protection from the sun and boost the fruit crop.
Yeah, Thailand have recently legalized it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Well, they say that, but I don't think they've actually done any. Mostly CBD. I don't think they've. I don't think.
Limited to their choice of
1% THC in it. They want it to put.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that.
So remember when I first read it, I was thinking that's really out the ordinary because they're normally strict over there. And then when I read a few things about it, it sounded more of a publicity thing that they're trying to get them more onto the CBD than THC. So they're not getting stoned. It's more
apparently
of a health.
They're growing it they're selling it everywhere in Thailand though, like hotels, beach clubs, markets. It's like they haven't set up dispensaries. You're just allowed to sell it anywhere.
Yeah, but are they? Is it THC based?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
As I say, the things I read they were saying it wouldn't have been. So it'd be interesting if it has. That's amazing because of how strict they have been.
Oh, this is the Guardian, yeah. And they've got like menus and everything. Oh, I'll put the thingy up. Where is it? StreamYard. Will you share the screen, local? Thailand. Yeah, man. Got a little menu going on. Oh, it's a dispensary. Anyone there? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Are you still there?
Yeah. Somehow as a mash now, I ain't got no chance of seeing that.
But you can still get a fine for it. How weird. But it just sells everywhere. That's crazy.
So what would you get the fine for?
Fuck knows. $12.50 for a gram of blueberry haze. 23 gram for a lemonade. Fucking hell. Cheese sells 100 grams a day. Fuck me, that's a lot of money, man, for Thailand. 100 grams a day, shit.
So I wonder how you're allowed to.
That's like £1,000 a day.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should growing that as well. Little cottage industries popping up.
So that could happen in England. Especially in, like, I don't know, places like Blackpool and Brighton and...
Yeah, it could be a boost for a lot of people. But again, that the price will come down because of how much will be on the market.
Yeah.
But personally, I think it would be the best way would be local dispensaries. They'd have to test it, and again, because you'd have to be quite rigorous with the standards to make sure it was grew properly. And so as long as the people that the dispensaries are buying off, make it legal for people to grow their own. You know what I mean?
Bagman says the poorest in Thailand will be able to level up, growing each family can grow 6 plants 6 times a year. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Wow. In Massachusetts, you can carry an ounce. Wait.
Yeah, man. I think when the robot culture comes in,
Yeah.
the robots are running all the factories and all the offices and everything, that's when Britain will legalize the weed, because we're gonna have nothing else to do. So they're gonna have to legalize a few drugs, to keep us happy.
Well, I think Israel are probably the most thingy with it. They use it in old people's homes and things like that, don't they? They use it in a lot of elderly care. And again, with the generation that's coming in, we are getting older, so I think that might be where they're doing a lot more research.
Well, the argument says I don't smoke much, but my daughter uses it for her autism.
Yeah, does different things for different people, doesn't it? Like I say, it's a calming for a lot of people. It's a
Yeah, I'm always interested in what it does to a person that suffers with autism or another mental health problem, you know.
yeah. As I say, I wonder what strains are specific for those.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's more. I wonder if it's less haze, it's better, isn't it? Because the haze normally makes you think more, makes you overthink, if anything.
So,
I think with anything, if people want to do it in their own private space, it shouldn't be like arrested for it or
Yeah, it's never going to make any
criminalised.
situation better, is it?
No. I mean, if they're out in public in like private spaces or whatever, then yeah, I suppose you could be prosecuted or whatever. But I think people should be allowed to grow it and smoke it in their homes.
Yeah. Even outside, I wouldn't mind if it was discreet. You know, if they're in a park in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and they ain't selling it. So people allowed to smoke and eat food outside, nice different smells, and
Would you even say it's a form of discrimination, like not allowing us people to, especially people with like, you know, ailments, problems?
well, there could be that argument now. Yeah, I say if I was out and I've got my prescription with me and I need pain relief, is it right that anyone will stop me from taking that pain relief?
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to be in Saudi Arabia.
No.
I wouldn't be taking anything over there.
I don't really have any desire to go there at all.
so Age.
Yeah.
In a few days, where you off to?
Amsterdam.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, Amsterdam.
Yeah, man.
Take a few videos, innit? And,
Yeah. I'm going to a roller coaster park first. So yeah, I will.
Look out for some Masonic lodges as well.
Oh yeah.
Or any Masonic symbols or statues, you know.
Wasn't that more of like a US, UK, French thing?
I don't know. They're everywhere, man.
Did they have it in Holland? Maybe they do. Probably do.
Anything planned for your first smoke?
I want to smoke like everything that I smoke over there. I want it to be something that I've never smoked.
Yeah.
I don't want to smoke anything that I've smoked. It's got to be new and something different.
Yeah. That is a mad thing over there, isn't it? When you start looking at the menus.
Yeah. I reckon like I'd make the most of going on fucking planes, man, at the minute.
Yeah.
It might be banned in a few years. Not banned, but it might be so hard and expensive.
Too pricey.
Yeah. Or they'll limit people in some way. With the World Economic Forums, like policies and all that all the governments are pushing, a lot of them.
Okay, it's the people who are in charge, though. I can't see them giving up that much. The people in the airlines. I can see not many people being able to afford it and they're not getting as much subsidy. They're going to lose a lot of GDP, ain't they?
Surely they're bringing electric planes soon.
Yeah, the technology's getting there, isn't it?
They're already sort of, they're already out there.
Yeah.
It's just taking a while to do it.
It's all about the money.
It's all
I
about
wonder
the
what the
weed.
problem is with the flight. Is it getting enough power or something from the batteries or?
Probably, yeah, to give it lift.
Get enough thrust. That'll be a question for Erdy. Come on, Erd.
Suppose you could use just normal whatever it is to get you up in the sky, and then you can use anything in the sky, can't you?
Yeah.
You could even use hemp. You could build this. You could build the airplanes out of hemp. No, you couldn't actually. The interiors you could.
Yeah, I don't know if you probably do a light
Battery's
aircraft.
way
Wouldn't
too
you?
much. Yeah, you'd need a big ass battery for an airplane.
Yeah,
Probably.
but it would be light as a to do a body out of it. You'd do it like fiberglass, wouldn't you? But you'd use hemp in between, as the. I don't know what they paint it with. But the biggest thing as well is stop landslides, and if they grow it in a lot of places where they've stripped the trees,
Yeah.
its roots grow rapid.
Like in Portugal, you get a lot of landslides and droughts and that because they just strip the whole side of a mountain and that.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus trees but yeah, if they grow like stuff like cannabis and that, it would stop that definitely.
Yeah.
Because it retains water in certain areas and.
Yeah, and it just the roots just grow bulky, don't they? They're matted. So it binds all that soil.
Remember, guys. They're gonna start growing upwards and not vertically.
Yeah, that is how they do a lot of the tomatoes now in vegetables, vertical.
Yeah.
No, but with the cannabis, the cannabis factories are gonna be planting upwards.
To save space and.
That's it.
Yeah, well, there is different techniques, and they can grow it in like a different level, so they push it through like a sheet. I think that's a sea of green. They call that. You've got a canopy of green, but you get different levels of green. You move it up as the closer to the light.
It's better with the heat because the heat goes up.
Say again.
Heat.
Yeah.
As it goes up. So the tower will be really hot upstairs.
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's not growing anything. It's keeping control of your temperatures. I think ideally, if you can keep it between, I think it's 22, 23, and 27 or something. If you can keep it that, then it'll grow at like a steady rate. But the higher that difference between the day and nighttime temperatures, you'll get lanky plants. So that changes the growth.
Yeah.
So each place will grow different.
Here's a question for you, anyone. I wonder, do you reckon what like our society would be like if we'd have legalized it like 100 years ago or whatever, and it was a part of our society? What do you reckon our world would be like now?
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be like futuristic, or would it just be stoners? And
I think we would have decolonized earlier.
Yeah, maybe.
I think we'd have gone quicker to decolonisation.
Still probably decolonizing now, like some countries are. Yeah, they are.
What do you mean by decolonize and decriminalize?
We let we left India then, didn't we? All the countries that we left.
Yeah.
And we kind of left. I think we would have left them countries earlier. So India and Pakistan would have been left earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
We robbed like something like 40 trillion off the Indians
Yeah.
for like 200 years, 300 years.
Yeah.
Right.
We basically made them work for us, didn't we? We put their class in order.
Yeah.
Put the class in charge and made them run it.
And in the next few years, they'll take over the world.
Yeah.
There's a YouTuber called Bald and Bankrupt,
Yeah, I know.
and he's gone to India, and he shows the back streets of India, and it shows how when the English were there, they were making it look like England, so they built the flats in the same way and shit like that. But then there was the
Cricket. Yeah, they love their cricket, don't they?
Yeah.
Cannabis would be a big culture economy in India as well, I reckon.
Yeah. You're saying cricket there. When you think of all the nations that do play cricket, they are nations that we
Colonised.
and went over.
Yeah. So cricket really shouldn't exist in it. Well, it just wouldn't be as big as it is now if it wasn't for colonisation.
Yeah. I think the only place it's never really took off is Scotland.
Do they even have they do have a team, don't they?
Yeah, they do have a team, and I think we have had a couple that come to the England team over the years.
I'd say it's more the Welsh, isn't it? The Welsh just love their rugby and some like football.
Yeah, they have got their own cricket league there. I'm not sure if Scotland does, or such as. Well, you got Glamorgan and all them. I think they're.
All right then.
I can't think of any Scottish teams. Just trying to think.
Yeah.
Age, when you're ready, just call it a night.
Call it a night. Yeah, man. Whenever you're ready, man. I got. Whenever you want to do another show, I've got some ideas. Do you want me to put it in the chat and see if people want to vote for it or?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let me write it down quick.
Oh yes. So well, that was a good discussion about cannabis. Went through a bit of the history. Medicinal purposes. Where's the list? The legality of cannabis, the strains and the brands.
Oh, there you are. I've put it up. I've shared it with you if you want.
Oh yeah. It's the same one, cannabis.
Oh yeah, that's one. Oh no, the next show I'll put it in the chat.
Oh yeah.
For you all to vote.
Stoners.
We're stoners, man. I got to try and get my video sound sorted out, and then I can play videos because that makes the show a lot better when you can play videos and shit.
Yeah. So it'll probably be. When should we do it? Monday again?
Yeah, I can do if you want. Are you not working again? Are you working next Thursday again?
Yeah. For the next month. Yeah. Well, next 3 weeks now. Yeah, man. Well, it's one of the topics. The rising of the bills.
Rising of the bills. Rising of the seagulls.
Oh, here we go. So for the next show, the ideas are pick 1, 2, or 3. What's number 1? Climate change. Number 2, geopolitics and political alliances. Or 3, COVID-19 pandemic. So,
Pandemic. I think.
how would you put pandemic?
If you were going for 1. I know loads about climate change and all that, so that'd be a good one.
Some of these,
I've got loads of folders.
Yeah, no, some of these subjects might be classed as a violation.
Yeah, that's a point, actually. Especially number
even,
1 and 3.
Yeah, even number 1, yeah.
At the moment, yeah. I suppose we just have to be careful with what we say, innit?
Or just the title, climate change. Yeah? Do we just talk about the faults? Well, we can't have any conspiracy theories about climate change. We have to go follow the narrative and only
And then it down to most people agree that the climate is changing, and it just down to what if people believe it's more man-made than others, and
Yeah.
you know, it's how I suppose the question is how much are we having an effect on it? That's where people differ, isn't it?
I think
surely they can't stop, conversations like that, because that's just general.
Age. I think number 3 should be talked about in the next few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, in like 5 years' time, and then see what life is like.
Yeah, man. It's been a good 6 months since it was sort of over in most places. It's going on still in some places like Canada and that, though.
The other week we had an upstairs, didn't we? But it's gone down again now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'd say it's all but done now, isn't it, I suppose?
Well, it's a different one now, and it's more infectious. Less people going in hospital, so less people will be needing the jabs. Unless it's gone back basically to the flu thing, isn't it? You'll end up having a flu jab and a normal jab, COVID jab. Multi-seasonal.
So next
I
Monday
don't think because most people won't need it because most people have caught it, so they'll have some sort of immunity. Won't they?
Yeah.
You know, and the natural immunity is better if you can, get it. That's the only reason I put off my booster.
The people that have been locked up for 2 years and haven't gone anywhere, maybe they
Yeah.
could be more at risk now, innit?
Yeah. But
their
but they're
immune system-
less risk than if they'd have gone out at the start when it was.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But they're at more risk of catching it because there's more of it about. It's not as risky to go into hospital. Is that what you're talking about next week? Is that
Dunno
what they've
which one.
decided?
I don't know. The bills, I don't know. We'll see.
He said do it in a while, maybe in a few weeks or months, or
Yes.
and just do one about what could we call it? I don't know. Instead of calling it climate change, call it geography moving about. I don't know. Fuck knows.
Weather systems.
Yeah, weather system changing. Fuck knows.
The history of planet Earth. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, interesting to see what people can agree on. You know, what science is there a science there that people agree on?
Yeah, there's a lot
You
of
know,
scientists.
is it the
say
same?
it's
Do we
not.
agree on the same things that are making it warm? What do we think the consequences of each? You know,
Yeah,
is it more rain, less rain?
and you got
Also
like carbon sinks as well. Stuff like in Canada, they've got like a huge forest that just eats up most of America's and their like CO2.
Yeah.
Some say.
And
the Amazon as well, that eats up CO2, but yeah.
Then they are on about putting something in the sea, iron or something. Open it or produce algae and again eat CO2.
That's one way, yeah.
But if they don't know what could have any unintended consequences. It could do totally.
Not wreck the sea.
Yeah, we don't know. It should be okay because I think they have done it in places. And you know, when a battleship was sunk,
yeah,
it was normally healthy round it.
Oh, it creates like oases for fish life.
So it's
coral.
It does help with the growing. Stuff can grow on it. So, what happens if we put too much in? You know.
Yeah. You have to remember, the human race has only explored 3% or 7% of the world's seas. So the news is only coming from that 7%. You know, regard to climate change and all of that shit. We still got the other 90% of the seas. You know, that's not talking.
So when we do know more about our galaxy than we do the sea, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah. Or the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more money spent in space than there is in the sea.
Yeah, but that also earns a lot of money as well and makes a lot of money, space. For every dollar America spends on the space thing,
I think
they've got loads back for that.
Underwater will be good. You know, imagine there's so many towns and cities that have been flooded over the years, thousands of years.
Yeah.
Maybe even the history. There's more history down below the oceans, you know, than there is on land. And this is what we're seeing now, like the pyramids and shit like that, is like just the ruins of what's left here on planet Earth.
Yeah. We know I was on about the other day where Birmingham gets its water from, Elan Valley in Wales. Birmingham bought I think they bought the vials and made these. They kind of flooded the area. It's because of the drought that's happened there. A lot of the ruins are on show now. Someone walked around it the other day.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And that was normally well under.
Where was this?
Elan Valley, Wales.
Oh.
There's one like droughts from like the 1600s and that where they've marked it on this stone. Yeah.
Imagine there was no sewer systems or anything like that. We'd all be underwater right now.
Oh, there'd be no water and we'd all be fucking.
So I say, right for disease and that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
People putting shit in the street again. They used to put it out the window, didn't they? Into the gutter, and it was collected from the gutter.
Hello, boys. Oh, hello.
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 Yeah, sound. No, I've been on before, local. I thought your topic of I thought your topic of information. Oh fuck! I'm echoing bad.
You got to turn the YouTube off.
Oh fuck! Of course. Sorry. What a noob.
That's all right. We will do it.
What a fucking goof. I thought your top conversation was pretty cool. Do you know like about Tartaria and all of that fucking like madness of like mud floods and old societies that were like fucking, I don't know, maybe we're a replacement like kind of society of what was, where they had like greater technologies and shit. You were talking about like things that were found due to the droughts and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just mad fucking thoughts. I don't know if you ever looked into Max Egan or Tartaria or anything along the lines of.
Don't ring a bell.
Yeah. I've read it all and a lot of it. Yeah, Max Egan.
Thoughts?
A few years ago. It's possible. Like Tartaria existed, like Atlantis did as well. Maybe. Yeah,
Well, it all ties into that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that a lot of that information was probably lost in the Alexandria library when it got burnt by the Romans and that, because that would have had a lot of the old history of the world and maybe.
Yeah, because a lot of Atlantis, half of history comes from Pluto and that, like Plato, or whatever I pronounce it.
Yeah.
From his writings. So I don't know if it was one of his plays or, it's his imagination. He just uses like like in the Bible full of parables.
Yeah.
Either way, it's still a brilliant story, isn't it? I remember being young, man from Atlantis.
I mean, it's a great, story to teach the kids. It's better than transvestite fucking story time about inclusivity. It kind of teaches, gods and fucking will of man, and it's kind of based. I can get behind that, What's your thoughts on the whole fucking transvestite story time shit?
They smoke cannabis.
Yeah, doesn't everyone?
That's down to them, isn't it? They're not teaching it in schools, are they?
Well, are they not?
No.
Do you not have
It's
teachers
a
that
library.
are like teaching the inclusivity?
They're teaching kids how to be like if someone went up to a teacher, a little kid, and says, "Why has Tommy got two dads or two mums?
Okay.
Or just Tommy's, why's my mate Tommy? I think they're just answering them questions, not teaching them sex wars or sex education. Don't start till 11, does it?
Well,
But that's nothing to do with the transvestite thing.
Have you ever looked into the people that created sexual education within the school systems?
Not really.
Hmm.
Sex education.
You know what? I'll look it up right now. But if you look into the people that like created the sexual education system for like the fucking youth, then you'll find out that it was like a couple of pedophiles that are basically. I want to get it worded correctly so I don't get this channel taken down for some kind of hate speech,
but I was going to say, I think we're talking about cannabis as well. So we're not.
Oh, well, what bad do you have to say about cannabis, please? I'm happy to talk about this.
No, it's not. It's a local show like that.
Oh, but what bad were you talking about cannabis? Because I'll try and rebuke it.
What bad?
Yeah, well, are we talking bad about cannabis?
No,
good.
No, we're just talking about cannabis.
Legality. Well, I mean, like the human body has hundreds of thousands endocannabinoid fucking receivers from your hair follicles down to your fucking toenails. So your body doesn't have an endo-carrot receiver. It doesn't have an endo-potato receiver. Why is it this one fucking like plant that your body has a receiver for is restricted from you by your government? I think that's a question that you should really be asking yourself. What is wrong with cannabis? Some people would say that cannabis can cure cancer. There has been many studies putting into this. Whether you want
not into cancer.
They have.
It does help.
You need to look into what Max Egan's research has done.
Yeah, like I say, you do have to be careful what you say, because you said there's lots of research into the cancer. There isn't. All the stuff that's been into cancer has been in the laboratory, and they're injecting it into cells.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about
Rick Simpson oil.
Done this on their own fucking bat and
Rick Simpson oil does help people with cancer.
I'm not talking about oils, man. I'm talking just about like fucking. Even if you have natural fucking grow, if you have access to the leaves and you blended it down and you put it into a fucking smoothie. That shit's gonna fucking take care of you, man. Like seriously, the benefits that go into your body from that plant are insane. This is why you have head to toe endocannabinoid receivers. You don't have endo-carrot receivers,
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you very much, Local, for having me on. I appreciate you. Brilliant show you run here. I'm sorry I run in late.
That's all right. We was literally just finished, really.
No, that's fair enough. Like I appreciate your shit. Anyways, fucking you got a good little channel here, brother. I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate it.
What do you think I should talk about next week? What option?
I don't know. We'll decide during the week. I'll probably put like a little chart up. And people
poll.
Trannies, fucking migrant crisis. There's two. Anyways, have a good night, boys. Stay safe.
Yeah. Take it easy,
man.
Big ups.
Big up.
Yeah, and peace out to you guys, man.
Shit. There you go. Big ups. Stay safe, people. Make sure you hit that follow and hit that like and all of that. Yeah. Nice one, boys.
Yeah.
Like as well. Take it
easy, D-Way. Thanks for joining. Thank you to everybody in the chat for joining and taking part. So next week's show will probably be on Monday. Again, same time. So thank you, AgeCase.
Nice one. Thank you. Peace out, man.
Yeah, and thank you again, and catch you again next week.
Good night. Take it easy. Bye.